Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends. This is Dr. Charles. Thanks for listening in on the Red Line. It is truly a great day today because you're on the line, and I hope I have something to say that will spark you to make a difference in what you're doing along your personal journey. And certainly I'm here today is to continue to inspire you to grow yourself and to make a difference around the workplace where you're at, perhaps even in your home. Wherever you may be. And so today I want to continue the discussion on teamwork because that is so important. As I've said before, you just can't do it all by yourself. You're going to need some support. You're going to need like-minded people that are going to be able to assist in what it is that you're doing. And so I have been reading this book, 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork, and it has resonated with me because I do manage a team of people, and it's important that I continue to learn and continue to grow and do things better and challenge myself while challenging my team. You know, I've raised the question before, and I'll raise it again today. Are you bored with your job? Then I encourage you to find something that you like to do so much that you would gladly do it for free. Then I suggest you learn to do it so well that people would be happy to pay you for it. That's what I want to talk about today is really the law of identity and teamwork. It comes down to having a team that comes together with shared values because shared values define the team. And even if some members of the team don't share common experiences or have a personal relationship with one another, they still can possess a cohesive environment, a cohesiveness that defies the size of the team. But what it takes is a common vision and a shared value. And that's what is so important in constructing and producing a winning team. Values are so important. Values can help a team to become more connected and more effective. Because if everyone embraces the same values, then team members can still have a connection to one another and to the larger team. And so today is about really coming together and identifying what works in teamwork, and that is a common vision with shared values. Now, we've all seen teams that have a common goal, but yet they lack common values. So what happens is eventually the team, they're going to break down if everyone tries to do things on their own and do it in their own way. And this is why team members need to be on the same page. You hear that expression? We got to get on the same page, because when teams are not on the same page, they're not going to win often. And then the blame game comes in. And I thought you knew, and you were supposed to be, and I thought you were going to do. All of that comes, and you see confusion and you see disarray, and the opposing team see a weak link. And then that's how they can take advantage of the situation. So it's important that teams need to be on the same page, because to a person with no value, if you don't have any values, then anything goes. Just do it my way, or do it the way that I believe. And when you're working in an organization and you're working for a team, it's going to have to all come together on one accord, one single mind, where the leadership sets the values, set the example, and as a result of setting those examples, then everyone becomes a part of it, and it becomes the way forward for everyone on the team. And as a result of that, you're going to find that people attract other like-minded people. You know, as I've said, positive people attract positive people. And, of course, on the flip side of that, negative people attract negative people. And when there is no vision, when there's no values, when there's no course of action, then you can have people going in all sorts of different directions. And so who you are, when you think about values, who you are is who you attract. And what you believe identifies who you are. And so you may, and I may have our own personal beliefs and values, but when you walk into an organization, then the organization stands for something. And this is when you come in alignment with those values and the culture, and you either work together in improving and striving for excellence, or you check out and self-select out, and because it just doesn't fit you. But the key here is that organizations must articulate the values, and then once you articulate those values for your organization, put them on paper. So we've been talking about values. What does that mean? Well, some of the examples I'm talking about as it relates to values, this was taken from John Maxwell's company, Enjoy, and I didn't list all of their values, but just to name a couple, one of the values is personal growth of each team member. And that's something of value that is part of their DNA, that when you come into the organization is that you don't stay as you were, but you grow. And it is the objection of the team and of the leadership that every team member grows personally. The second one was adding value to others. What is it that I can positively impact in your life and pour into your life that will make a difference? Another one, raising up and developing leaders. You know, if you don't do that, then you just grow old and move on, and then what's left? Everything just collapse. You ever been in a situation like that where you see while the leader is there, things are going good, but they have no succession planning. They have no one who's going to slide in if something should happen to them, the leader. And you see in some cases the leader dies or the leader leaves, and the rest of the flock just goes in all sorts of different directions because there is no plan and no value was placed on raising up and developing future leaders. When I think about another company that expressed and has posted their values and what it means to come work for them, I think of Home Depot. Everyone heard of Home Depot. They strive as a few of their values. Number one is that they express excellent customer service. You ever been in a Home Depot? You can ask anyone with an apron on and ask them for where something is at. And they know it. Not only they know it, they'll walk you right to the spot and stay there with you and make sure that you have what it is that you're looking for. And that's a value that they place on serving their customers and their business. Another value is the respect for all people. That is so important for the diversities of people and mindsets coming into the organization. Then that is a key value of maintaining that respect for all people, not just some, but for all. And then another value, giving back to the communities. You know, Home Depot does a lot of great things and in giving back to the community. Now, why are we talking about all of these values? Because they are yours and my identity. We are identified with the organizations that are striving and working day in, day out to fulfill these things. These are more than just words on a paper, even though they should be visible for all to see and to be enforced by leading by example. Then these values become a part of you and be part of the whole team, and the outsiders looking in will have that much more respect for the individual as well as the company and will purchase your product or buy your your services or whatever, and you will be successful. And so the question today is, what are some of the values you stand for, not only in the organization that you work, but personally? When you think about that, when people think of you and your individual brand, you and me are a brand. If you would look at us as no different than a trademark, then what is it that people will say that you and I value the most? And that would be the question. So once you settle what the right values are, you're going to need to identify them and look at them, study them, understand them, and then teach them to everyone that's on your team. And that's how you're going to build a culture that is going to impact your business, hopefully in a positive way. And so you start with obtaining the buy-in. That is so important. You can talk all you want, but until you live the values, until you're passionate about it, then you won't be able to gain the buy-in from the rest of the team. But when they can see it and they can hear it, then those values will be bought by those that are with you, and their behaviors will align with you. You've seen this where someone has poor values and someone exhibits the same poor values. They say an apple doesn't fall far from a tree when we talk about dad and mom and the children, and so the children are away from dad, and you should see some of the same values that if the dad was standing there with the child. And so they're passed along, they're caught, they are exhibited by what we see. We become that what we see. The next practice is values. They have no value if you don't put them into practice. And that's really what it comes down to. So, one, you got to gain buy-in, and then two, you got to practice. And someone said, I think it was a football coach that said, practice makes perfect. And that's why they practice. You practice as though the game is being played. And so when the game is being played, you are playing at a high level. And that goes the same with carrying out values. So what have we been talking about? The law of identity. We're talking about shared values define the team. Even if some members of the team don't share common experiences or have personal relationships with one another, they too still can possess a cohesiveness that defies the size of the team. What it takes is a common vision, this is the point, and shared values. I like to close this call today with this. If your values are the same as the team's values, you become more valuable to the team. And that's the key to this whole message today. If your values are the same as the team's, you become more valuable to the team. If you can wholeheartedly buy into the team's values and commit yourself to aligning yourself with those values, then you're going to be in the right place. You're going to be doing the right things in lockstep with the rest of the team. But on the other side of that, if you can't, then your misalignment will be a constant source of frustration to you and frustration to your teammates. And you might want to think about finding a different team. That's why I said in the beginning of this call, I said, are you bored with your job? Then I encourage you to find something that you would like to do so much that you would gladly do it for free. Thank you, my friends, for listening in. Once again, it has been my pleasure to share with you. I hope it has been a blessing to you. Now, let's go back to work. Let's make it a great day and a great week. God bless. Until next time, you've been listening to Dr. Charles.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.